The phone shattered against the wall with a crack that echoed like a gunshot in the empty apartment, shards of glass skittering across the hardwood floor like fleeing insects. My hand throbbed, blood welling from a cut where the edge had sliced me, but the pain was nothing compared to the inferno raging in my chest. There, on the cracked screen still flickering faintly, was the message I'd never been meant to see. Ignore him for a month like we said. Watch him squirm. 2 weeks in and he's already blowing up your phone. Pathetic. It was from Sarah to Emily. My Emily. Timestamped just hours ago. The betrayal hit like a sucker punch, stealing my breath, twisting my gut until I thought I'd vomit right there on the rug we'd picked out together last summer. I sank to my knees, the rough weave of the carpet biting into my skin through my jeans. How had it come to this? We'd been solid, or so I'd thought. Lazy Sundays tangled in sheets that smelled of her vanilla shampoo, whispered promises under streetlights after late-night dinners. But 2 weeks ago it all stopped. No calls returned, texts left unread, excuses about being busy that grew thinner until they vanished altogether. I'd paced this room night after night, replaying our last fight, something trivial about me working too late at the studio, convincing myself it was just a rough patch. Denial had been my shield, but now it lay in pieces, just like the phone. Rage bubbled up, hot and acrid, tasting like bile in my throat. Sarah and Mia, Emily's so-called best friends, had orchestrated this. I'd always sensed their disdain, the sidelong glances at barbecues, the passive-aggressive jabs about my unreliable job as a freelance audio engineer. "He's not good enough for you," I'd overheard Mia slur once at a party, her wine glass sloshing. But this was calculated cruelty, a game where I was the unwitting pawn. Humiliation washed over me in waves, imagining them huddled together, giggling over my desperate messages. "Babe, talk to me. Did I do something wrong?" Pathetic indeed. I wanted to scream, to storm over to Emily's place and demand answers, but a colder voice whispered in my mind. No. Make them feel it. Make them understand what real silence is. That night, sleep evaded me like a shadow slipping through fingers. I lay on the bed, the ceiling fan whirring mockingly overhead, its blades slicing the dim light from the street lamp outside. My thoughts spiraled into dark fantasies, confronting them in public, exposing their petty scheme to everyone we knew. But that was too crude, too immediate. Revenge, I realized as dawn crept in gray and unforgiving, needed to be savored, built like a symphony rising to a crescendo. I pictured Emily's face, her wide hazel eyes that had once looked at me with such warmth, now clouded by whatever poison her friends had fed her. Was she in on it fully, or just weak-willed? The doubt gnawed at me, a persistent ache. Part of me still loved her, or at least the version of her I'd built in my head. But resentment overshadowed it now, a black cloud swelling with every unanswered call. By morning, obsession had taken root. I called in sick to the studio, my voice hoarse from the tears I'd choked back, and spent the day piecing together the puzzle. Logging into our shared Netflix account, she'd never changed the password. I saw she'd been binge-watching rom-coms alone. Trivial, but it stung. Then deeper. Her social media, still linked to mine from when we'd synced calendars. Subtle posts, coffee dates with Sarah and Mia, captions like, "Girls' night in, bliss." No mention of me, as if I'd been erased. I scrolled through their profiles, the glossy filters hiding the rot beneath. Sarah, the ringleader with her perfect Instagram life. Yoga poses on beaches, brunches with influencers. Mia, quieter but sharper. Her feed full of cryptic quotes about cutting toxicity. Hypocrites. They'd convinced Emily I was the problem, but I knew their secrets. Or at least I suspected. Memories flooded back, unbidden. Last Christmas at Mia's party, I'd walked in on Sarah in the bathroom, snorting lines off the sink with some guy I'd never seen. She'd laughed it off, sworn me to secrecy. "Don't tell Em, okay?" She'd freak. I'd kept quiet, fool that I was, thinking it was a one-off. And Mia. Her stable job as a marketing exec was a facade. I'd overheard her on a call once, panicking about embezzling petty cash to fund her shopping addiction. Emily idolized them, blind to their flaws. But I saw now. They weren't protecting her. They were controlling her, isolating her from anyone who might challenge their influence. Guilt flickered at the edges of my resolve. Was I any better, digging into their lives like this? The moral conflict twisted like a knife. Revenge might make me the monster they accused me of being. But then I'd remember the silence, the void where her voice used to be, and the doubt would harden into steel. I needed a plan, something that would expose them without destroying Emily in the process. Or maybe that was a lie I told myself to sleep easier. Over the next few days, I moved like a ghost through my routine. The studio's hum of mixers and monitors felt distant, my hands mechanically adjusting levels while my mind plotted. I started small. Anonymous accounts on forums, searching for dirt on Sarah's ex's or Mia's workplace. Nothing concrete yet, but hints. A review site blasting Mia's company for shady practices, a Reddit thread about Sarah's wild college days. Sensory details anchored me. The bitter tang of black coffee fueling late nights, the click-clack of my keyboard in the quiet apartment, the distant wail of sirens outside reminding me the world kept turning while mine crumbled. Tension built in subtle layers. I bumped into Emily at the grocery store. Coincidence or fate? Her cart full of the organic yogurt she loved. She froze, her fingers tightening on the handle until her knuckles whitened. "Alex," she said, voice barely above a whisper, eyes darting as if expecting her friends to materialize. "Hey," I replied, forcing a casual tone that belied the storm inside. "Been a while." "Yeah, I've been busy." The lie hung between us like smoke, acrid and choking. I nodded, swallowing the urge to grab her shoulders and shake the truth out. "Take care." Walking away, my heart pounded, a drumbeat of suppressed rage. She didn't chase me. That night, a text from her. "We need to talk." I stared at it for hours, fingers hovering, before deleting it unread. Let her taste the silence. But it wasn't enough. I needed to hit where it hurt. Their bond, their illusions. I recalled a conversation months back. Emily confiding that Sarah had cheated on her boyfriend, the one she'd just dumped. She said it was a mistake, but I don't know. I'd brushed it off then, but now. Ammunition. And Mia's gambling habit. She'd admitted it once, laughing nervously about maxed-out cards. If I could gather proof, anonymously leak it. Doubt crept in again as I paced the living room, the floorboards creaking underfoot. What if this backfired? What if Emily hated me forever? The obsession warred with guilt, leaving me sleepless, skin clammy with sweat. But resentment won out. They thought they could toy with me. I'd show them the power of true quiet, the kind that echoes in empty rooms, in fractured friendships. By the end of the week, the plan crystallized. I'd feign reconciliation with Emily, draw them all in, then dismantle their world from the inside. Subtle hints dropped in conversations, seeds of doubt planted. The suspense simmered. Would they suspect? Would Emily break first? I imagined their faces when the truth unraveled. Shock, fury, the same humiliation they'd inflicted on me. Cold resolve settled over me like frost on glass. It was time to compose my symphony of silence. The cafe buzzed with the clatter of espresso machines and murmured conversations, the aroma of fresh pastries thick in the air. I sat in the corner booth, nursing a latte gone cold, when Emily walked in. Her hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, dark circles under her eyes speaking of restless nights. She spotted me, hesitated, then approached with tentative steps, her boots scuffing the tiled floor. "Alex, thanks for meeting me," she said, sliding into the seat opposite. Her voice trembled slightly, hands fidgeting with the strap of her bag. I don't know where to start." I leaned back, studying her, the freckles across her nose, the way she bit her lip when nervous. Heartbreak tugged at me, a dull ache, but I pushed it down. "How about the truth? Why the ghosting?" She glanced away, cheeks flushing. "It was stupid. Sarah and Mia. They said you were pulling away, that I should test if you really cared. Ignore you for a month, see if you'd fight for us." She laughed bitterly, the sound hollow. 2 weeks in and I couldn't do it anymore. But you stopped responding too. Anger flared, but I masked it with a sad smile. So it was their idea. Figures. Don't blame them entirely. I went along with it. Guilt etched her features, making her look smaller, more vulnerable. Part of me wanted to forgive, to pull her into my arms and forget. But the resentment, that coiled serpent, hissed otherwise. We talked for hours, the conversation weaving through apologies and reminiscences. I played the part perfectly. Forgiving but distant. Let's take it slow, I suggested. Maybe grab dinner with the girls sometime. Clear the air. Her eyes lit up. Really? That'd mean a lot. Inside, obsession churned. This was the hook. Now to reel them in. The dinner was set for Friday at our old favorite Italian place. Strings of fairy lights twinkling over checkered tablecloths, the air rich with garlic and red wine. Sarah arrived first, her blonde hair cascading in perfect waves, designer dress hugging her figure. Alex! Long time, she cooed, air-kissing my cheek. Her perfume was overpowering, cloying like her fake sincerity. Mia followed, her sharp features softened by a forced grin. Glad you're back in the picture. Her eyes flicked to Emily, a silent question passing between them. We ordered appetizers, bruschetta crisp and tomato tangy, and small talk flowed like the Chianti. But tension lurked beneath, electric and unspoken. I watched them. Sarah's laughter too loud, Mia's glances too probing. Emily squeezed my hand under the table, seeking reassurance. As mains arrived, steaming pasta plates, I steered the conversation. So, what made you think I needed testing? I asked casually, twirling spaghetti on my fork. Sarah choked on her wine, coughing delicately. Oh, just girl talk. We worry about Em, you know. Yeah, Mia chimed in, her voice edged. You've been distant with work and all. I nodded, suppressing the rage bubbling like the sauce on my plate. Fair. But secrets can destroy friendships, right? A subtle hint, dropped like a breadcrumb. They exchanged looks, unease flickering. Emily frowned. What do you mean? Nothing, I said lightly. Just thinking aloud. The evening dragged, suspense building in stolen glances and loaded pauses. Back home alone, I reviewed the audio I'd recorded discreetly on my phone, a habit from the studio. Their voices, tinny but clear. Admissions of doubt, veiled barbs. Not enough yet, but a start. Over the next days, I escalated quietly. Anonymous emails to Sarah's boss, hinting at her substance issues. Nothing libelous, just questions about company policy on drug tests. A tip to Mia's credit card company about suspicious activity, using details I'd gleaned from past slips. Moral conflict raged. Was this justice or vengeance? Guilt whispered that I was crossing lines, but humiliation's scar burned brighter. Emily called, voice strained. Sarah's freaking out. Some weird email at work. You think it's related? Coincidence? I lied, heart pounding. Doubt crept in, had I gone too far? But no. They needed to feel the isolation, the silence of allies turning away. Then the pivot, a group chat invite from Emily. Let's all hang this weekend. Beach day. Perfect. I arrived early, the sand warm underfoot, waves crashing in rhythmic fury. They lounged on towels, sunscreen slick on skin, laughter forced. As the sun dipped, I dropped the bomb casually. Hey Sarah, remember that party last year? The bathroom incident. Her face paled, the color draining like tide water. What? I don't. And Mia, those late-night bets. Emily knows, right? Emily's head snapped up. What are you talking about? The air thickened, suspense peaking. Sarah stammered. He's lying, Em. Trying to turn you against us. But the seeds were sown. Arguments erupted. Accusations flying like sea spray. Mia stormed off, sand kicking up behind her. Sarah followed, hurling insults over her shoulder. Emily turned to me, tears streaking her face. Did you do this? The emails, the tips. I met her gaze. cold resolve unbroken. They told you to ignore me. I showed them silence, the kind where truths scream in the void. She backed away, horror dawning. You're a monster. As she left, the beach empty now, a twist uncoiled, relief mixed with regret. Poetic justice. Their friendship fractured, isolation their new companion. But in the quiet, guilt echoed loudest. Had I won, or merely become what I despised? Yet in the silence I finally heard peace. Or was it just the hollow ring of vengeance's price?